everybody. How are you doing? I am so excited to do some crafts with you today. My name is Kimberly and I am the creator behind the Best Ideas for Kids. I do lots of kids crafts and activities. I love to craft, so I'm so excited to craft with you today. Now we're going to do 2 of my new craft kits. There's 9 new kits at Michael's and you can get them in store or online right now. But I'm going to show you the 2 that we're going to do. And if you don't have them, that's okay, because I have some backup options for you as well. The first one is the Cactus Rock Painting Kit. So we are going to make a couple rock cactus. And the second one is the Handprint Card Kit. Now the theme is Valentine's Day. So we're going to make the cactus, the strawberry, and the bee. And there's going to be a Valentine's Day theme to each of them. So I will show you what that is. Now you might be wondering, well, what's the theme for the cactus with Valentine's Day? Well, I love the saying, I'm stuck on you. So we're going to pair a cactus rock with the card, and you can give this as a gift to somebody for Valentine's Day. How cute is that? So we have the cactus rocks, and I'm going to show you all different ways to make designs on them. And then the cards. I'll show you the card. This one again. This is a handprint cactus card. Then I have a handprint strawberry card, and it says, "Your berry sweet inside." And then the final one is a handprint bee, and you can write "Be Mine" inside. "Be Mine Valentine" works well. So that's everything we're going to do. Now, if you don't have the kits, don't worry, because here's what you need, and you can grab it or have someone with you, maybe grab it for you. Preferably a rock. Any kind of rock will do. You'll need some paint and some googly eyes. You'll need green paint and white paint. And if you don't have a rock, that's okay too. You can actually make a cactus out of a paper roll. So if you have a paper roll, this is just a kitchen paper roll, you can paint a paper roll and turn it into a cactus too. So that's the first one. And then for the cards, you're going to need some paint. So yellow and black for the bee, red for the strawberry, and green for the cactus. Now, the kit comes with all the things to add on top. If you don't have that, you can make them or draw them on top. You can still make it your own, and it's going to look awesome. So I'm going to put this aside so we can get started. But before we start, I want to know, can anybody guess how long ago people started handing out Valentine's Day cards? Do you think you have a guess? I want you guys think about that. How many years ago did people start handing out Valentine's Day cards? Think about that, and I'll let Lindsay look at the responses and tell you if you are right or not. So while you think about that question, I'm going to start opening this so we can start creating our cactus rocks. So
we have 50 for a long time, 1964, 300, 20, and a comment that they started Valentine's Day in Rome.
Ah, that is, you know what? The 300 was the closest. So it was actually the very first one that was passed out was 600 years ago. Can you guys believe that? That is a long time ago. So this has been a tradition that has been happening for a while. Now I'm opening up our cactus rocks. Get everything out. Making a bit of a mess, but that's okay. I will just put that to the side and show you guys what's inside here. So I'm pulling out, got the eyes that we need, the paint, and our paintbrushes. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the styrofoam and our rocks here. So we're gonna start with our cactus rocks. And I'm gonna clean up my table here before we get started. While I do that, I have another question for you guys. What is your favorite Valentine's Day color? Let me know which color you like the best for Valentine's Day. Personally, I really like pink. So I'm gonna have to vote for pink, but I wanna know what your favorite color is.
Well, we're getting a lot of reds and pinks, some yellow, white, purple, blue, and the rest are pink and red.
Nice. That's awesome. I love those choices. Now we're actually going to be painting with green to make our cactus. So if you have some green paint, you got your rocks ready. If you don't have a rock, get your paper roll ready and we're going to start painting these. That's our first step, is to paint our rocks. Now before you start painting, make sure you have something to protect your surface. I'm just using this paper plate, but newspaper is great, or if you have some old scrap paper, butcher paper, that kind of thing that you can lay down just to protect your table. You don't want to get any paint on your table. So while I start painting this, we're going to start with the green colors. And I'm going to paint one light green and one dark green. Now, I totally forgot to ask you where you are joining us from. So I also want to know where everybody is from. If you can say your state or your province. And I'm going to start painting this. Now, this brush, you want a wider brush for the overall color because it's going to give you, it's going to put more paint on the rock than this one is more of a fine brush we're going to use to add our details. So I'll start painting the light ones first.
We do have a couple questions of people that have just joined. If you can briefly go over back over the supplies that we'll need for today's class.
Yes, so for the first craft, we are making a rock cactus. I'll just pull this up to show you guys again, this little guy. And so you need green paint, white paint, and googly eyes, or you can even paint the eyes on yourself if you don't have googly eyes. So that's for the first one. The second one, we're going to make handprint cards. So for those, you need some paper. And we're going to do 3 different designs. Now, you don't have to do all of them, but here's the ones I'll show you. So a red paint for a strawberry handprint. Yellow and black for a bee handprint. And green paint again for the cactus handprint. Now, all of these embellishments come in the Best Ideas for Kids craft kits, but if you don't have them, you can still use, draw on your own to add to it as well. You don't actually need all of the kit to do the craft. It makes it a lot easier, but you can still do it, which will be great. So if you don't have a rock, I had mentioned this, that's okay. You can make a cactus. I'm going to just show this guy again out of a paper roll. So this is just a kitchen paper roll. And you can paint it just the same. So if you have a paper roll hanging around or even an egg carton, cardboard, you could even cut into the same shape. You could even do paper. You really could paint anything and follow along with us today if you don't have the same supplies. I'm going to show you how to make a cactus, and however you make that is going to be awesome, right? Okay, so I'm going to paint 2 in the light colors. And then we're going to need some time for that to dry. I'm just doing one side because then you'll have to let that dry and do the other side. And while I'm painting this, I'm going to ask you guys another question because I want to know, what is your favorite theme for a Valentine's Day card? If you could pick what kind of cards you'd want to hand out to your friends, what would you pick as your theme? Okay, so I got my 2 light ones done there. And now I'm going to paint this one a darker green, so we have some variety. And I want to make sure I give you guys lots of time to do the painting, because this is one of the most time-consuming parts of it.
Okay, we have some answers of nature, animals, anything, magical, a lot of animals, Marvel, Harry Potter, plants.
Nice. I
Lots
like
of
those
fun
choices.
ideas.
Yeah, that's really fun. Okay, so I am done painting, but if you're not done, don't worry, keep going. I'm going to start showing you, while this is drying, I'm going to start showing you the handprint cards, and we'll come back to this to let our rock time to dry. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And I'm going to pull out our cards again. So there's 3 here. So you don't have to do them all. You can pick which ones you want to do. So I'll show you kind of the technique for all of them, and I'm going to give you some tips for getting a handprint. Doing a handprint, in theory, sounds easy, but there's actually a little trick to getting it to not smudge when you're doing it. I'm just going to clear this away for now. So when you start, I'm going to open the kit actually, so you guys can see what's inside this one. I'll let you have some time to get your paint all set up. While we're doing that, I actually had a lot of cactus trivia for you guys. And does anybody know or can guess how long a cactus can live without rain? See what you guys think. How long can it go without rain? I was actually surprised by this answer. So we'll wait to see what you guys think. While you're thinking about that, I'm opening up the paint. We'll start with the cactus one again, because we just worked on the cactus rocks. So because I wouldn't be able to paint my own hand and wash it while I'm on here with you guys, my daughter and I actually did some handprints in advance so that I could show you. So for the green one, what you want to do is paint your own hand. This is the fun part. So you put paint everywhere, all over, like about down to the bottom of your palm here. And fold over a piece of paper, or you can use these cards if you have the kit. And when you have enough paint, you want to make sure you cover all the spots so that it looks, your whole hand looks green. And then when you have enough, you gently press it down, and you would have somebody else, it helps to have someone else kind of push down so that your hand doesn't move. Because if your hand moves, your handprint's going to smudge. Oops. And so you don't want that. So you just push it down for a little bit, make sure all the fingers are kind of touching the paper, and then slowly lift it off. And that will give you a pretty good handprint. So for the cactus ones, you just need to paint it green. So it's really easy. That's what I love about this one. Now, do we have any guesses on how long a cactus can live without rain?
Yes, we do. There's 1 year, 100 years, 98 years, 2 years, 2 months, 6 months, 10 to 11 months, 30 days.
Those are good guesses.
A lot of 1 year guesses.
Nice. Now the answer is actually a little over a year. So you guys got it. That's awesome. So that is great. Isn't that surprising? Now cactus are succulents and they can hold a lot of water in them, which is why they can go so long without any rain. So that I think is really, really cool about them. Okay, so if you have done your green handprint, go wash your hand. And then we're going to start decorating this one. So make sure you wash off the paint right away. It's the best way to get the paint off is if you don't let it dry for too long. Use some soap and it should come right off. So while we give you a little bit more time to wash your hands, I'm going to ask another question about cactus and wondering if you guys know why cactus have, on this one, you can kind of see it, spines or needles on them. So what is the purpose of the spines or needles? Anybody know? Okay, so give you guys some thought on that. Now, if you have the kit, if you don't, you can add little flowers. You can draw and kind of cut out your own little flowers to decorate your cactus handprint. You could even just use markers to draw on your own. With this kit, it comes with these little stickers. So it makes it really easy to just add on some flowers. And then for underneath it, I'm going to put this little pot so that it looks like it's sitting in a pot. You don't actually need the pot, so you could leave that without it. Or you can draw your own pot, cut your own out of paper. There's lots of options.
So all the answers are saying for its own protection.
That is right. The spines and the needles are to protect themselves from animals. You guys are too smart. Okay, so I just added some googly eyes now to my handprint cactus. He's starting to look really, really cute. I'm going to give him or her, I should say actually, a smiley face. And then now I'm going to add the spines and needles. And I'm just drawing like little lines like that. Just a little bit all over the place with a marker. Okay. So now this one is done. Now one card done. So cute. So awesome work, guys. That one's all done. So before we get into the next two, I want us to go back to our cactus rocks because I think they will be dry enough for us to start painting on the design part of it. Now I have some here, a bunch now. I had some already here, but I'm going to show you a couple techniques to keep with the cactus theme before we move on. A couple techniques to paint to make it look like a cactus. So what you want is white paint now. And just put this to the side. I'm going to use a fine brush You just want something really that just has, it's not too thick because you want to be able to draw the detail on it. So something with a finer point of a brush. If you have a thicker brush, that's okay. You can just maybe go a little bit slower as you're painting to try and get it to not be so thick when you put it on. So one of the easy ways to make a little cactus design is just to do little X's. So you can paint little X's like that on it. Now, if you're just painting this on paper or cardboard or whatever supply you had, you can do the same thing. Just keep adding little X's. Okay. Now I have a would you rather question for Valentine's Day. Would you guys rather get candy or would you rather get chocolate for Valentine's Day? I want to know which one's more popular. And then I'll tell you what my favorite is. So you can keep going on the other side once that dries. So we'll just put that down for that one to dry. And then the other thing you can do is just do the lines that kind of crisscross, just different directions, just little mini lines like we did on the card.
We have a lot of responses. Most of them are candy. There are only 2 that say chocolate. One is specific with chocolate covered strawberries.
Ooh, well, you guys are on board with me because that is my choice too. I would rather have candy over chocolate. And I love sour candy, actually, the best. Okay, so do you guys see how that's just starting to look more like a cactus now? Got a bunch of different lines and you can just put them any direction like so. So then the final method that I'll show you is actually really easy because you can use the back of a paintbrush to do it, and it's to make dots. So I like to just dip the paintbrush and then you can dot it like that, and it almost makes a perfect dot for you. And this will work again. It doesn't have to be on a rock. It can be on a paper roll or just paper. If you want to just paint a cactus, you can do this little technique on anything you're painting. So see how that's starting to look more now like a cactus. Okay. So that is all painted now. The final step is we're going to add eyes. You can paint on eyes, or if you have googly eyes, then I like the stick-on ones. Let's see if I can add it on without, the paint is still not 100% dry. So you're going to want to do this once it dries. Okay, no. Let me get one that's already dry. This one's more dry. Oh, maybe this one. Okay. I'm gonna add the googly eyes now. This is a better spot. I was trying to avoid the, there we go.
Do you need glue to stick those on?
So these are sticky googly eyes. If you don't have sticky googly eyes, then yes, you would need glue to add them. And to glue it onto a rock, regular white glue probably won't work. So you would need hot glue. So if you're not used to using hot glue, make sure you have an adult help you with that. Otherwise, the sticky googly eyes are perfect because you don't need any hot glue for them to actually stay on a rock.
Can you show, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Can you show them how to paint the googly eyes, or not the googly eyes, but eyes on their cactus?
Oh yeah, sure. So if you just want to paint on some eyes, let me pick this one actually. I'll come back to this guy and get white. We'll have to let this dry, but you would just draw on or paint on 2 circles for the eyes. You might need to do a couple coats. Basically, you're trying to make it look like the googly eye still. So 2 circles for the eyes, let that dry, and then you would go in and add some black paint. So we'll let that dry first, and then we can come back to that once it's dry. You would just add little dots of black paint inside for that. Okay, so now this is a little pot you can put it in. If you don't have a little foam insert to help it stand up a little bit higher, you can use like paper towel to just put at the bottom of your pot. But then when you're all done, you can put it into a little pot like this. It's hard to show at this angle, but there you go. There's that one we just made together. And I'll show you a couple of the ones I had made before. So there's that one. And this one. This is the dotted one that I had done previously. So you can kind of see. Okay, so let's let some of that dry and we can come back to the painted eyes. I'll show you guys the paper roll one again. So exact same thing, just paint it. I added extra, these arms actually are just from an extra paper roll, just cut out, painted in this shape. And then you can add it to the sides. If you don't have that, you could just make it shorter and still stick it in a pot and it would still look like a cactus with some eyes. So that's the other option there too. Okay, and then I'll just show you a couple of the ones my daughter made. So she did this one with the lines and she did this one with the dot method. So super cute. I just love this one. And it makes a fun gift because you can actually give it to someone and they'll love to put it on their desk or in the kitchen. It's just fun little decoration. So it's a really fun gift. So I'm just going to put this to the side and we'll come back to those eyes at the end, the painted eyes. And now I'm going to show you guys the strawberry card. So I'll give you another little second. And I want to know, because strawberries are one of my favorite berries, but I want to know from you guys, would you rather have a basket of strawberries or a jar of honey? Because we've got bees too. So think about that. And for this one, you're going to want to paint your hand red. So get a plain piece of paper or the card from the kit and fold it over to make a card. Fold it in half. And then for this one, you want to do it upside down because I don't know if you can tell the handprint, it's upside down. So you just want to turn your paper the other way when you do the handprint so that it's hanging down the opposite way that we did for the cactus. So paint your hand red. Again, you're going to paint your whole hand for this one. Cover the whole thing with red. And turn your card around. so that it's facing the opposite way. You would open it and then press, hold, and carefully lift it up so that it doesn't get smudged. Okay, so after you do that, you should have something that looks like that. That's my daughter's handprint. So to make this strawberry, I'm using googly eyes again. If you don't have googly eyes, you can draw eyes on with just a marker, a black marker. We're going to add little seed marks on it to make it look like a strawberry and a little top. Now, if you don't have this sticker, you can draw this on with markers, or you could cut it out of green paper. So I'm going to put the sticker on that I have. While I do that, did we get any responses for the basket of strawberries or the jar of honey?
Yes, we did. All the responses were for the basket of strawberries, except one was for honey jar.
All right, we love strawberries. That is awesome. Now, another question, since I know you guys love strawberries then. Would you rather have strawberry ice cream or chocolate ice cream? So I'm going to add the googly eyes on to give it a face. You actually don't need to put the face on, but I think it's so cute. So you could just draw on all the seeds without a face. So now that we have the eyes, you could also draw them on yourself with just a black marker, but I'm going to give it a smiley face. And then add the seeds.
We have a question if the Google Eyes came in the kits.
Yes, you get the googly eyes in all the kits. You can also buy them separately from Michael's too. Okay. So while I do this, and I don't know if any of you guys need to wash your hands after doing the handprint, I've got another question about Valentine's Day for you. And my question is this. Would you rather get a big bag of Valentine's treats, so a big bag of candy, because I know that's what you guys like, or have a day off school? What would you rather?
So while they're typing that answer, there was a lot of strawberry ice cream and a lot of chocolate ice cream. I think it's, I think that was a hard one to pick.
That's a good split answer.
Yes, and there were a lot of them that said both.
Nice. Okay, so I love strawberries for Valentine's Day because you can write the cutest things inside. So for this one, I wrote, "I love you very much." And then in this one, I put, "You're very sweet." So our strawberry card is done now. So the last card is the bee card. And I actually have some really cool facts about bees to ask you guys about. The first one is, how many bees do you think live in a hive? Let you guys think about that while I get this set up to show you. Now for this one, you need yellow and black paint. And you're going to paint both on your hand at the same time. So what I did with my daughter is you start, I'll just show you here. This part here is the front of the bee's face here. And then you got your fingers are yellow, the tips. So you just start with your yellow paint and you paint a line. And then you're going to probably want to have a second backup brush or wash it in between, but that might be tricky. So I would just have a second backup brush, then paint the black. The other thing you could do is paint all the yellow first. So do, actually that's what we did. We did yellow here, yellow in the middle, and then yellow at the ends. Then you can dip it in the black because it'll be darker than the yellow. You won't see it. Then paint black in between. So I'll do that again because it's, this one's a little bit trickier with the two colors. So you want to paint yellow on this end, yellow in the middle, and then yellow on the fingers, and then the black in between. So once you have all of that, it's the same process. This time though, the card is going this way. It's flipping up this way instead of this way. So when you fold your paper, you can fold it the same way, but then just orient it this way because you want the bee to be sideways so it fits. So when you press it down, you press it this way. Okay. Now, what are your guesses on how many bees live in a hive?
Okay, we have 1,000, 30,000, 300, 250,000, 4,000, 60,000. Lots of guesses in the thousands.
Oh, wow. That is, you guys are close, actually. It is over 1,000. It's 50,000 on average live in a hive. So that is a lot of bees. Wow. Busy bees making honey, right? Okay, so I'm going to start building our bee handprint. If you don't have this sticker sheet, again, don't worry because you can still draw all these features on yourself to turn it into a bee. You just need a marker or a pencil, or whatever you have. You can draw the wings on and the antennae and the little wisp behind it too. So I'm going to start with the antenna. Add that. And I have another cool fact to ask you guys. This one was, I didn't know this, but I was like really, really surprised to find this fact out about bees. And it is, how many times do you think a bee flaps its wings or beats its wings in 1 second? So 1 second is just like that. How many times do you think a bee beats its wings in 1 second? And I was really surprised to find out what this was. So I'm just adding the wings here. You can draw your own wings on with a marker. Stickers make it super easy, but you really don't need the stickers. You can draw it on yourself too.
Okay, we have 50, 20, 100 million, 80, 100, 8, 30,000, 1,000, 20, and a lot of them in 100.
Okay, yeah, you guys, you're too smart. 100 is really close. It's approximately 230 times in 1 second. And a fruit fly is 200 times per second. So a bee actually beats its wings a little bit faster than a fruit fly. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just adding these. This is optional, but you can just add these little like bee marks to show that it's moving fast. We've got the antenna. I'm going to add some wings, and then I'm going to give him a face again. I'm going to give a little bit smaller eyes because the area is a little bit smaller. You can draw on your eyes just with 2 little dots too if you have a black marker. And then draw on a smiley face. That. Okay, so inside of this one, I'm going to write bee mine, Valentine. There you go. So a little bee card now you can give to someone you love. Super cute. So those are the 3 handprint cards. I will go back to our Cactus Rock here to see if our eye is dry and see if we can add a little dot inside to make the eyes.
Before you go back to the cactus, there's a request to go back over the cute phrases that were inside each card.
Oh, sure. I'm just gonna grab them all again for you guys. Actually, I forgot to write inside our cactus one. What I was gonna write in here is I'm stuck on you. So for cactus, I'm stuck on you, or you can do a variation of that, just playing on the funniness that cactus have, like little needles on them, and you can get stuck to a cactus if you get too close. For the bee one, we did Be Mine Valentine. So just playing on the word bee. And for the strawberry, I had 2 sayings you could use. You're very sweet, and I love you very much. Super cute. These cards are adorable. It's going to be hard to give them away because they're so cute. You're going to want to keep them. Okay, so back to our cactus guy here. So the white paint is drying actually pretty well. So now I'm going to use the black here. Not a lot of rocks going on. And I'm just going to add a dot. Now, my favorite way to add a dot, again, is to use the back of a paintbrush. So I'm just going to add a dot like that. Like that. And then you can put it inside your pot again. So that is all of the crafts. And I have one last trivia question for you guys, because we ended with bees. I want to know for you guys, how many eyes do bees have? Does anybody know that? Do a quick guess. We put 2 eyes on our card. I'll give you a hint. They actually have more than 2 eyes. So we have any guesses? What do you think?
Not yet, but we did have another cute phrase to go in the bee card that was suggested to say, I buzzed you.
Oh, I love that. That's adorable. That is so cute. Okay. Well, any guesses for the bee eyes?
Yes, we have 2, 50, 100, 2,000, 400, 6, 20, and 5.
Well, the last one was right. They have 5 eyes. So good guess. So that concludes all of the crafts I was going to show you guys today. I hope, if you weren't able to do it with us, that you were able to watch and follow along, and you can do it at home now. Get all the supplies you need and do it yourself. And if you really like the kits, I'm just going to show you again which ones we used. This was the Handprint Card Kit. So it comes with everything you need, all the stickers and the cardstock, all the cards, and it even comes with the envelopes to put the cards in, and they're colored envelopes, which is really cool. And then the Cactus Rock Kit comes with the rocks and the pots and all the paint brushes and googly eyes. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm actually going to be doing 2 more classes. The next one is March 25th, and I will show you what we're going to make for that class. We are going to make paper roll bugs. So this is just one example. I have some behind me. I don't know if you can see a bee ladybugs. We're going to be making these on the March 25th class. As well, I'm going to show you how to make sun catchers from the sun catcher kit. So that's the March 25th class. You can't sign up for it yet, but keep an eye out for the next couple weeks. And then April 15th, we're going to make handprint crafts, a butterfly handprint, and some 3D crafts with paper. So like this vase craft here. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys March 25th. Bye.